Hi, Al.
Hi,
Now, today I'm going to teach you about something called the circulatory system. Can you say that?
circulatory system.
Very good. And the circulatory system is where blood goes once it comes out of the heart, which we learnt about last time. All right. So let's have a little look. I'm going to draw one of my silly little love hearts, although we know they don't look like this. Lots of love to little Al. There you go, mate. Now, out of the heart, the blood gets pumped first to these things. What do you think these things are called?
Your lungs.
Very good. And from your lungs back to your heart. And then from your heart to your body. And then from your body back to your heart again. So you can see that there's one little loop there and two little loops there. Make sense?
Yeah,
So we call that double,
circulatory system.
no, but very close, double circulation. All right. Can you remember that, do you think?
Double circulation.
Very good. Double circulation. Okay, good. So that's called double circulation. Now, how does it travel to your body? Well, it travels in things called blood vessels, all right? And there are several types of blood vessel. One is called an artery. What's it called?
Artery.
One is called a vein, and one is
Vein.
very good. One is called a capillary.
Capillary.
Okay. And the arteries are very, very thick and the veins are a bit thinner, and the capillaries are very, very thin indeed. So where do they fit in? Well, they fit in a little bit like this. So you've got a great big thick artery like that, taking blood from the heart. So from the heart, the blood comes through these big, thick arteries. Now, that little gap in the middle is called a lumen. That's the
Lumen.
name lumen. Very good. So the lumen is the little hole through the middle of the artery that all the blood goes through. All right. Now, after the artery, we come to a smaller artery, which you don't need to know this word, but I'm going to tell it you anyway because it's easy to remember, which is the arteriole. Okay, so arterioles are after the
Arterial.
artery. Very good. And after the arterioles, the blood vessels, which are the tubes, they become really thin and they become the capillaries. Okay. Now, what do you think happens in the capillaries? Have a guess.
It makes the it makes lungs next or veins.
Veins will come next, but in the capillaries, what happens is that because they're very, very thin walled, they look like this, right? They've only got one cell thick. They're only one cell on the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, because they're just one cell thick, all of the things like your oxygen, which is in your blood, can come out and go to your muscles because your muscles need it. Similarly, food that you've taken in that's now been traveling through your blood is a little bit like a motorway. It carries food and oxygen and everything else around your body, right?
Yeah.
So all of that happens in your capillaries, lots of things coming out, lots of things coming in and stuff like that. Then, once all of those things have been transported and taken to where they need to be, your capillaries then join up to form a venule, and then from the venule, a vein. All right?
All right.
Okay. Where do you think the blood goes after the vein?
Back to the heart.
Back to the heart. Excellent. And where does it go from the heart?
Um, the the chest.
To the chest. Yes. What's in your chest? Where does it go to? Begins with L.
Um, maybe back to the lumen.
Close. No, your lungs, mate. They're
Oh,
your lungs, aren't they, in your
yeah.
chest? So it goes to your lungs, yeah? and
Yeah.
then back to your heart again. And what's that process called? Got two words. What's it called?
Double circulatory system.
Close. Double circulation. All right.
Double
So
circulation.
let's recap. We've got blood going boom, 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 boom from your heart to your lungs and then to the rest of your body. And that noise, the boom, boom, is the valves inside your heart slamming closed and opening as your heart pumps that blood around. When the blood leaves the heart, what does it go through first? Do you remember?
The lumen.
Goes through the lumen, which is the middle of it, but the middle of what? What are they called, those blood vessels?
Artery.
Arteries. And after the arteries, we've got arterioles. And then after the arterioles, you've got capi
Capillary.
capillaries. The,
Capillary.
the capillaries, right? And after your capillaries, you've got venules and then veins where there's no oxygen in the blood in the veins.
And then it goes to the heart, and then to the lungs and back to the heart.
Absolutely. And that is called a double
circulation.
Fantastic. Good boy. Right. We need to know what's in the blood. And inside the blood, you've got red blood cells, your favorite cells. Remember? What do they look like? Can you remember?
Biconcave.
They're biconcave. Well remembered. So you've got your red blood cells. Do you remember what red blood cells carry?
Blood.
No, they carry oxygen. So they are the things in which the oxygen is carried around your body. You've also got white blood cells. And white blood cells, great big fat white blood cells like this, are of two sorts. There are things called phagocytes.
Phagocyte.
And they basically go up to bacteria and things like that and go row and engulf them. And that process is called here's a good word for you. Cytosis. Can you say that?
Phagocytosis.
Good boy. And so they engulf the bacteria. If this is like, I've got your Halloween teeth here. So these Halloween teeth can be your bacteria. And I'm a phagocyte and I just like engulf it like that, phagocytosis, and then I dissolve it and destroy the bacteria. Or those white cells are called lymphocytes. What are they called?
Lymphocytes.
Very good. And lymphocytes produce something called antibodies.
Antibodies?
And these are like little flags which go on the bacterium in order to, that looks like a little golf course, doesn't it? Little flags.
Yeah, it looks like a golf.
So the antibodies go on the bacterium and tell the phagocytes, come and attack me here, basically. So white blood cells, two sorts, phagocytes and lymphocytes.
Lymphocytes and phagocytes and antibodies and then phagocytosis.
Yeah, so the lymphocytes produce antibodies. The antibodies label bacteria as being the ones
and then
to
the
attack.
Bacteria say, defeat me, defeat me.
They do indeed. Although the bacteria don't have a high-pitched voice like that. I don't know if bacteria could speak, what would they sound like, I wonder. I don't know. Anyway,
defeat me.
Eat me.
Anyway,
red blood cells, sorry, Tiger. Red blood cells, white blood cells. We've also got platelets. Okay.
Platelets.
Now, platelets are not little plates. What they are little bits of cells, broken up little bits of cells like that.
So if it was broken, it would be teeny tiny.
Yeah. I mean, the platelets. Yes, broken platelets would be really teeny tiny. And what the platelets do is they clog together and they
make a cell?
No, they make scabs. They clot your blood. All right. So if you've got like a hole in your skin, basically loads of little platelets will gather there and they plug that hole by clumping together.
Yeah, so like they heal that hole.
Yeah, basically. You've also got something called plasma, and plasma.
So like there's an orb of plasma.
Say that again.
There's an orb of plasma.
I'm going deaf. What did you say? A norma.
An
What?
orb of plasma.
An orb of plasma. I don't know about that. There may be an orb of plasma. Where have you heard about that?
Just in one of my games.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the orb of plasma. Well, plasma is like the fluid. It's the liquid that all of these
The
cells are
liquid
in.
which heals the whole, right?
No, the liquid which carries these cells. Remember, this is all what blood is. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
if you've got
plasma carries the cell.
if that's a droplet of blood like that,
Chocolate
then
of blood.
droplet. Then
Droplet.
inside that droplet of blood, you've got white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, and all of them are flowing around in this
And the
watery stuff
plasma.
called plasma.
How
Absolutely.
about the phagocytes, phagocytosis, lymphocytes, and antibodies?
Well, that's to do with white blood cells, isn't it? Because white blood cells can be either lymphocytes or phagocytes, right?
Yeah.
And don't forget, phagocytes do phagocytosis,
So
and
they squash those little bacteria cells.
well, they don't squash them. They more sort of go around and surround the bacteria, and then once they've
Like they
surrounded it,
make a circle
yeah,
to
and so this bacteria becomes trapped, and then they put chemicals in the bacteria to destroy it. Antibodies are like little flags. They're what made by the lymphocytes. Okay, you got that?
wow. Huh?
Have you got that?
Yeah.
All right. Now you do have to be a little bit careful about your diet, Alvin John, because if you eat too much food
You
that is
might
bad
get
for
sick.
you, yeah, you might get sick, and those arteries that you've got and the veins can become blocked with cholesterol, right? So
Cholesterol?
yeah. Now you can take drugs, and these drugs are called statins, and the statins get rid of the cholesterol. Or, and this is really clever, scientists and doctors can put inside one of your big arteries something called a stent. And a stent is like a metal bit that keeps it all open. So it's like a metal wiry thing that just
So
holds
like
it all
a
open.
barbed wire?
Yeah, it's like that. But it's not barbed wire, it's not sharp, but it just holds the tube open. It holds your arteries open if they become clogged up with cholesterol. All right.
All right.
So you have to eat a healthy diet, and as a result of that, you won't have to have a stent fitted or ever have to have statins. Okay, so that's wonderful. Thank you, Alvin John. That was good.